car. I want that car. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Look at the lights. We the ones don't like. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from feeling all kites to putting it on my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. Jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy, but later I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mess. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They think it's my fault. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Brando Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zit the back that like a pogo. No do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cave with 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run. 9
good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And he's got Gresham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The 13 yards that time of the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The first down carry here for Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Rosen to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Rosen will throw. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He's going to get it running right. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing here, Trubisky. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Trubisky to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And Gresham has it left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And now it's Rosen looking, and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Play action here with Rosen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Cardinals. 43 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And he fires one incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. drawing the penalty. It's Johnson. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On second down, Johnson. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Cardinals on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 6. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And now running right through it. And they get the football as he stopped at the 7-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They pitch out to Howard. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from the desert after this. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson tacks on the point after, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Trubisky with a give to Howard. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. On second down, here's Trubisky. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Hey, gotta go.
Trubisky will throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So we reach half, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's a little bit different size than they're used to seeing in Chicago, playing the middle linebacker position. But undersized or not, his speed is absolutely overwhelming. And when he arrives with a thump. The city of broad shoulders loves Roquan Smith.
And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. On first, they go right back to Howard. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now Trubisky on first down. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding it.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Caught, right side, Gresham. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Detroit!
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. So out now come the Cardinals. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
On second down, Rosen. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On the toss play, Howard. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On second down, Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's third down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran safety, Antoine Bethea, there on the defensive coverage. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Second and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened. When they went up 3 scores, I wrote onto your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Let's go.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he'll be a little shy.